This is a HeadGum podcast.
Sorry for the delay, Rochelle. Matt should be here any minute. We can get started. So just as it looks like he's here right now. Speak of the devil. Hey, buddy.
Sup? What's up, dude?
Hi. How's it going?
I'm feeling pretty radical today, if I'm being honest.
Oh, hey. That's great to hear.
Yeah. Sorry, Ranch. I was riding in today. I didn't have my car. I decided to hop on the old skateboard.
You skated over here from your place.
Yeah, I skated over here, and then they tried to stop me.
Who tried to stop you?
The people that don't like it. The people that don't like. There's an anti-skateboarding sort of bias in the community. They just think I'm too cool.
I mean, this feels like a thing from an earlier era. I remember the skateboarding is not a crime, but that felt like more of a 90s thing. So the skateboarding's been pretty mainstream since the X Games. You're saying you got harassed by the authorities just trying to skate your way over here?
I got harassed. I got harangued. I got all sorts of crazy stuff happened to me. I was trying to do some flips, and this old man was like, "Don't do that."
And just an old man saw you attempting, I guess, like a heel flip or a kick flip and being like, what are you doing?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I was doing a heel flip.
Was he just in his yard? Just with that, an old guy just sitting on his porch?
Yeah, he was across the street.
And
he was kind of getting really mad at me.
Okay.
I was like, don't do that. We don't do that here.
Maybe he was worried about your safety.
No, I was wearing a helmet and stuff. But yeah, so I did some of that, and then I saw, it was actually crazy. Part of the way over here, I grabbed onto the back of a car like Marty McFly.
That's fun. But I mean, I could see people being like, hey, that's a dangerous thing to do. You're out on the open road trailing a vehicle without getting the driver's permission.
Yeah. Well, that's the issue, isn't it? That I didn't ask. If I had just asked, I probably could have. They would have allowed me to hang on.
I'm not necessarily, but I'm saying, if you were like, it's okay with the driver, then I think people might give you more of a pass.
Well, yeah.
Matt, are you lying?
What do you mean? No,
I'm just saying. It just seems like your story's kind of all over the place. It seems like you're maybe just want us to think that you skateboarded over here, and I honestly don't even see evidence of a skateboard. Are you serious? You mentioned a helmet. I don't see where your helmet is. Where'd you stash that?
I left it. I left it on the board. I left the board's out. It's don't look out that window.
Go grab. Don't leave it outside the studio. It's out on the street. Someone will take it.
No, I locked it.
You locked your skateboard.
Yeah, I locked it.
You secured your helmet with a lock as well?
Yeah.
How do you lock a skateboard?
Okay, now who's talking like somebody that doesn't know how to skate?
I didn't claim I can skate. I just have some knowledge of skateboarding.
That doesn't know anything about skateboarding. How do you know?
Tell me that. How do you lock a skateboard?
It's actually really, really easy.
I guess I'm thinking you could probably take one of those U-shaped bicycle locks and put it over the middle of the board, and maybe it would be, tough to maneuver. You could just secure it to something. Maybe you couldn't pull it past the trucks.
No, I mean, I have a key fob for it.
To turn it on?
Yeah.
You think a skateboard has an on switch?
No. I was testing you, actually. No. It's, what? Actually, it's crazy. I'm actually embarrassed to actually bring this up. I broke my skateboard on the way over here. I broke it. And it broke in so many pieces that I don't even have evidence. It shattered into basically dust.
Matt, I'm just going to challenge you here. Describe a skateboard.
Well, mine's red.
Okay. What about it, physically, its structure?
It's got wheels. And things holding the wheels.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
No,
it's okay, buddy.
It's
okay. You don't have to lie to impress us.
It's got
me and Ranch are your friends no matter what. You don't have to skateboard to impress us. We love you. The listeners love you. You don't have to skateboard to try to impress everybody. It's okay, buddy.
Fuck.
Shh. It's okay. Shh. It's okay, buddy.
I'm peeing.
Okay, you don't do that.
Fuck.
Okay, you're ruining a chair. Don't ruin that chair, buddy.
Oh wait, it's got a sticker on it.
What's the sticker say?
It says I don't know how to skateboard.
Fucking poser.
No!
Get his ass. We stand on planks as they travel over surfaces as we discuss Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 and other board games this week on Get Played. Wow, it's Get Played, your one-stop show for good games, bad games, and every game in between. It's time to get played. It's time to get played. I'm Tiger Wiger along with Matt Apodaca.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Get Played. As you might have inferred from her absence from our intro, Heather is out this week once again.
Heather's gone.
But you know what? It's not just me flying solo this week. Matt is back.
I'm back,
Rochelle
baby.
Chen, our producer, Ranch is back.
Look at us.
So we get 3 out of the 4 ain't bad.
That is, hey, it's not bad.
75% is a solid C in any class.
And C's get degrees as far as I'm concerned.
That's bad, man. Says that on my diploma. I dropped out.
It is one of the funniest things to me on earth that I do have a diploma. And I will say, by the skin of my fucking teeth. We're back.
You were traveling.
I was in the desert. I was in the desert in Palm Springs, do this sort of annual trip with
Fun.
my some of my oldest friends, my brother, my wife, and we had a great time. It was great.
Did you bring like a Steam Deck, a Switch 2 with you?
So this is what I did. Yeah. I had alluded to this a couple weeks ago. I had this standing date with my boys.
Yes.
To go pick up Donkey Kong Bananza and get breakfast burritos, which we did do.
A lot of fun.
And then I immediately from there drove to the desert.
Wow.
I was like, I'm not doing this. I have to do this. And
that's such a key ritual for any new AAA release.
yes, especially for like a Nintendo one, we like really do go. I think we've only done it. We did it for Tears of the Kingdom. We did it for Astro Boy. There might have been a couple other stray ones in there that we've done it for. But we were like, we gotta go for Bonanza. We got it. We have to be out there. I also picked up my Bonanza amiibo and thought about taking it with me to the desert. Because I just got it and I'm going to leave it at home.
Right.
And my wife was like, wait, I really like this. She saw it in the box. She's like, wait, this is really nice.
Yeah.
She was impressed by the quality of the amiibo.
Wow.
And I was like, I have other of these at home. She's like, but I like this one. I was like, okay. So yeah, I took my Switch 2 and I took the dock with me. Because that's like everybody sort of in the group sort of like brings like something that they're like contributing to the weekend kind of. So like some of my friends are like they like to grill, so they're like we'll like bring like stuff to grill and we'll do that. I brought my freaking espresso machine.
It's like a potluck for objects.
Yes, yeah, basically. Like I was like I have this, and last year we went and the coffee situation was dire.
Yeah.
It was not good. It was like we were working off of a single Airbnb Nespresso, and I was like, this is just not doing it.
Yeah, Airbnbs and even Verbos are so hit and miss in terms of like whether or not they actually promise on what they deliver on what they promised rather. Like just like you might end up with a kitchen that's like you don't have shit here. Yeah. I can't do anything.
So I was making espresso for everybody in the house.
Wow.
Every day. And so I brought the Switch 2 dock, and we were playing, got some Overcooked going, got some Mario Kart World going. And then because I get overstimulated and get too hot when I'm outside for too long in the desert. So I would basically do like an hour outside, an hour inside playing Bonanza, an hour back outside.
Yeah.
And try to get people excited about watching me play Bonanza. And nobody was very interested, even though I kept being like, you could break everything if you want.
Yeah.
But I did that. And I also took my PlayStation Portal with me to play Death Stranding 2 in case I got tired of Bonanza. But something did not happen.
I think it's pretty. We'll talk about it a little bit more in depth. I think it's a pretty watchable game because it's just like it's so kinetic, and like you were saying, there's so much essentially terraforming that you're doing.
Look, I kept talking about how watchable it was. I was like, guys, I think you guys might like watching me.
You're missing out.
Yeah,
watching me doing something.
Yeah, you guys have these music videos on outside. There's a TV outside, and they had music videos on and like stuff. They're having fun splashing around in the pool. It's like a big It's like a big sort of like we go and we like crush beers all weekend. It does rock. It was really, it was a lot of fun. But I'm happy to be back in the studio.
Last time we were in Palm Springs, I guess it's a new city regulation. If you're at an Airbnb, like a guy has to come in. I don't know if it's like a guy from the city or a guy from Airbnb or just a guy hired by the people who own the property and like say like, hey, these are the rules of staying in Palm Springs.
Oh,
Did you have an orientation from a guy? It sounds like you didn't.
We didn't have a guy. We did have a guy come and he was like cleaning the pool like the day after we got there.
Yeah.
We were sort of just like, who's this guy? Who's like, oh, he's cleaning the pool. He's right. But there was just like they have all these like little like instruction things like everywhere. They're like, this is how this works and this is how that works or whatever. I will say I was mad at the Airbnb because the TV that I wanted to hook the Switch 2 dock to with the HDMI cable was mounted to the wall in such a way that it wouldn't pull forward.
Oh, that's a little frustrating.
And the HDMI thing was in the exact like middle of the TV.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it, and I had to then ask one of my friends with a more like slender arm to like reach back and like try to get it in any of the HDMI ports, and which took some doing. We did succeed.
That's like that feels like I'm just reminded of being like a little kid and my dad asking me to use my little kid hands to dig something out of some crevice.
Me, I was like, Daddy wants to play Bonanza.
I may be out on Airbnbs. I understand that you can get something that you can't get from a hotel, but it's just like it's so unpredictable. There's all these fucking hidden fees.
Yes.
Like I just like and like we were saying earlier about the appliances or whatever. It's just like sometimes you're not getting what you're paying for. But like I also just I kind of like hotels, and I know you can't have that same group communal. Hey, we're gonna be in this one environment and just kind of take it over. It's not really the same thing if you're all getting your own hotel rooms. It feels a little more atomized, but I just kind of like being in hotels more. I like getting the fucking points.
I love hotels.
Yeah.
I see. This is the thing. I'm like, as I'm getting a little older, I'm like, I have to become a points guy.
You gotta be a points guy.
I gotta be a points guy. Because like I do love hotels, and I love a hotel breakfast. I love like a hotel
Me
restaurant.
Too. Oh my God,
man. I fucking love. There was on our honeymoon we stayed at like a nice place in Kauai, and they had like 3 great restaurants, and we ate at one of them twice because I was like, I think this is like the best food I've ever had. It was so fucking good, and it was great. And then of course, then we like for like lunches and like in other stuff, we would like just go like find snacks like in town or whatever. But like they had some really nice like restaurants at the hotel, and there was this guy there at the hotel who was like, I've been here since this hotel opened in the 90s. So he'd been there like 30 like something years. And he was like the coolest guy ever. And I told him at one of the local places that I went to, and he was like, "Man, how'd you find that?" And
wow.
I was like, I did a little digging. He was impressed with my find.
There you go.
Yeah.
Point. I mean, this is a thing. I could talk about points all day, but get yourself into a hotel ecosystem, one of the big chain hotels, and then just like, orient your trips towards staying on their properties. You'll accumulate more points. You'll get more status. Whether you get like a co-branded card, like a credit card for that particular chain, or if you have a like a card like an Amex Platinum that is kind of like an umbrella card that applies to different chains and grants you different statuses. Like that's a helpful thing you can use there too. You're kind of double dipping. Yeah. You're paying for stays with their branded card. You get additional points.
When you say umbrella card, it's not for the umbrella corporation, is it?
You can get the umbrella corporation Visa. It's actually great.
You might get La Plaga.
You might get La Plaga, but it's worth it for that 30,000 point sign up bonus.
And then you get a golden egg under your pillow every night.
That's a lot of fun. But yeah, there's
like room service.
You get room service.
I remember when I was a teenager, I went on a cruise with my family for the like.
I thought we were still talking about Umbrella Corporation.
Oh.
So I was going to say, but the problem is the Nemesis shows up. But sorry,
Mr. X chases you down the hall. Yeah. Here's the thing. I would do that bit for 10 more minutes. It's really fun.
We got to move on.
Yeah, we got to move on. But you know what? I was staying at this hotel one time with my umbrella points, and I came home one day. Ada Wong shot this bell, and I couldn't go to sleep.
Oh, man. That's rough stuff.
It was just ringing and ringing.
Yeah.
I remember. So
I had a situation. I was there.
Yeah.
I was staying in an Umbrella Corporation property.
Yeah,
and we were like, we were in what we
and
thought.
They are nice.
They're very nice. We thought we were in an elevator. Ended up, the room is like closing in on us.
No fucking way.
I was almost a Wiger sandwich.
Oh my God, that sort of also reminds me of something that happened to me at an Umbrella Corporation property. So I got lost.
Yeah.
And I was like walking this like sort of like back area of the hotel, and I happened to walk by this open window. A bunch of dogs jumped through and tried to kill me.
Oh my God, that's scary.
Yeah, but the bartender at that particular hotel was El Gigante. And he makes a mean espresso martini.
Yeah, I've heard this about him.
He's really good at it. He sings me espresso.
Right. A lot of fun.
He's fun.
He's fun.
Salazar was there. He was doing the worm.
Was he really?
He was doing the worm. You're sort of like, I haven't seen somebody do the worm really well in a long time.
Yes.
He was doing it like he crawled in the fucking dirt. He was like really committed to it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I haven't mentioned this in the podcast before.
Yeah.
But like, my college girlfriend was the president's daughter, Ashley Graham.
Oh my God. That's
and
sick.
We went on, well, she, with those guys, I wish her well, we kind of went our separate ways. We went to, we went to an Umbrella corporation, like one of their properties in Spain.
Yeah.
She got kidnapped.
No.
I had to call the White House. They sent over Leon Kennedy to rescue her. It was a whole thing. I'm just sitting there with my thumb up my ass at the hotel by myself all weekend.
Yeah, no, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was rough.
But
it worked out all right.
At least we were on vacation.
It's true. It's beautiful over there.
It kind of sucks when something bad happens in general, but like if you're on vacation, it kind of lessens the blow.
It's true.
You're sort of like, oh, at least I'm on vacation. I'm at home. If this happened at my house, oh my God.
Yeah, forget about it.
I was on an Umbrella Corporation property once. There was this big lady walking around, and I was sort of like making eyes at her.
Wow.
And I don't kiss and tell her nothing, but things got a little crazy.
Which property was this? Because I think I'm making a trip.
I think I'm going to use the remainder of my points, my dear. Back to my cruise anecdote.
Yeah. And just to be clear, this was not an Umbrella cruise.
It actually was. But it was cool because I pride myself, I pack light.
Yeah.
And so like when I was packing my suitcase, I was like, everything fits in I have a grid in my suitcase.
Oh, that's nice.
So I kind of, I had my socks in one section of it that takes up one piece of the grid, and then I had the rest. My pants kind of took up a big portion of it.
This is my issue with my grid suitcase. It's really it is convenient. I kind of drive myself nuts trying to pack everything in there.
Yeah.
I'm like moving my flashlight. I'm moving my grenades.
Yeah. Your red and green herb, but you can save space if you just combine them.
I always forget to do that.
You gotta just combine them.
And so I'm leaving behiing my toothbrush because I'm like, well, I gotta have these herbs. In case I have some sort of wound. Then I'm buying I'm like landing at the airport and buying like a $6 toothbrush in the terminal. So
I actually had to file a complaint on the Umbrella Corporation cruise.
Yeah.
Because I kept losing all these blue medallions.
Oh boy.
And they kept acting like they weren't in the lost and found.
Yeah.
It was just kind of interesting is all. But I would find these pieces kind of scattered around, and it had appeared to be shot.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know what was going on. Somebody was like going around shooting blue medallions.
Yeah.
Anyway, my real cruise anecdote.
It's really weird when you're like, because sometimes you're just sort of like killing time. So like, I'll go down to the let's see what's over on the ballroom level.
Yeah, I love a show.
Property. I love a show. You go over there, and then there's like a portrait, and it's got like slots for 3 different gems. And then if you're just looking around, you'll find like a red gem, a blue gem, a green gem. And you can kind of slot some bitches in there. And then all of a sudden it opens. You got this whole different, a passageway to explore. I'm like, what? Well, who is this for? Like, whatever happened to a doorknob?
Yeah, whatever happened to a doorknob. And also, I did find this crown.
Yeah, huh?
It had no gems in it. And then I got to find gems and put the gems in the crown.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like all the time. It's just like all these loose gems that are just scattered about. That just seems to be like I don't know who put this here or why. I don't know if someone just forgot about this.
There's all these gems everywhere. I kind of thought maybe Adam Sandler was going to turn the corner, but he wouldn't never be anywhere near the place. When I was a teenager and I actually went on a cruise.
Hubie Halloween might be.
Hubie. You know, over the weekend when I was in Palm Springs, I threatened to put it on. Because I did it last year and it was a fucking hit. I was like, look, I know it's not Halloween. I think we got to watch Hubie Halloween, I think.
Reg, did you say Hubie Halloween was Mark's favorite movie? Is that correct?
It is Mark's #1 favorite movie of all time.
Hey, he might have a new favorite movie coming out because we're recording on the eve of Happy Gilmore 2. It's possible. Wow. When I was a teenager on a cruise, I was just blown away by the all-day buffet.
Yes, sure.
Me and my brothers, it was like me and my 3 brothers. So we were going crazy, just eating all day, just going nuts. And then like we had dinner, like, you do like the captain's dinner or whatever. So we're like, okay, we better cool off. We had our own room because it was like the 4 of us boys and like our parents. We were like, let's just like, they put us like in our own cabin. And we got to our cabin, we were like, let's order room service, and we all ordered turkey sandwiches.
That's fun.
It was great. And then we went to dinner, and we still ate full dinner. And one of the nights, I ate 2 dinners.
Wow.
Because you can get whatever you want.
I've never been on a cruise. I don't think I could handle it.
You would hate it.
Yeah, it'd drive me
just the idea of, I know you don't like to feel like you're enclosed in a space anyway. The whole vessel is one place, and you're stuck at sea.
Right.
But it becomes, it's big enough that it does sort of feel like you're in like a small, the worst city on earth kind of. But they are fun, but I haven't been on one now in like over a decade at this point, and have no desire to go back on one.
Right.
Too many things go wrong on them these days.
I heard all about this poop cruise.
That's
pretty dire.
Well, when Mr. X is the captain of the
of
the ship, he's throwing his hat around.
You don't want that to happen.
No. Anyway.
And then you're like, who's the captain now?
And then, oh my God, can you imagine? Captain Phillips is there just trying to enjoy himself. He's like, not again. Did we run out of steam on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Heather would have been upset.
Join the fun on DraftKings Casino, ranked the #1 online casino experience. They've got everything you've been searching for. Thousands of exciting games, huge jackpots, exclusive offers, and more. New players get a 10-day welcome offer, 500 spins on Huff and More Puff when you play just $5 to start. Download the DraftKings Casino app, sign up with code GETPLAYED, and spin your favorite slots. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins issued as 50 spins per day for 10 days. Valid for featured games only and expire each day after 24 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends August 24th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. #1 based on Eilers and Krejcik 2H24 product analysis.
Here's the thing, guys. I have been traveling recently. I went over to the UK, and I'll admit, the Wi-Fi speed, the internet speed when you're traveling abroad, those roaming data cap shit, like you have to buy like a 50 quid, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough when you're abroad and you've badly needed an internet connection with no Wi-Fi spot in sight. So you understand what a difference a local SIM card can make. An eSIM provides an internet connection wherever you travel and saves you money on roaming fees. That's where Saily comes in. Saily is a new eSIM service app brought to you by the creators of NordVPN. Here you can choose from several affordable eSIM plans in over 190 countries and 8 regions. With a Saily eSIM, you'll always have a connection when needed. Download Saley once, and you won't have to install a new eSIM for each country. You can avoid scammers selling fake SIM cards outside train stations and airports, and there are a lot of those guys, believe me. There's no more wandering around looking for a public Wi-Fi spot. With a Saley, you're always connected. They provide 24/7 support, and you get a full refund if your device isn't eSIM compatible. Download the Saley app in your app store. Use code GETPLAYED at checkout to get 15% off your first purchase, or go to saley.com/getplayed. That's SAILY.com/getplayed. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Often we get these like advertisements on this show and I have no idea what they are and I pretend to use them in my real life. NordVPN is not the case. I use NordVPN. It is saved on my desktop. It's saved on my phone. I use it to shop in region-locked stores and use proxy delivery services. I use it to access digital content that might be like on the, say, BBC, rhymes with Y player. It is a fantastic service. You can watch sporting events and TV shows and films that aren't available in your region by switching your virtual location to a country which is showing the event. You can protect your private data like bank details, passwords, and online identity. NordVPN can switch your virtual location, allowing you to save money by purchasing flights, hotels, and subscriptions from other countries at a cheaper price. And you can protect your data whilst traveling and using public Wi-Fi, because NordVPN protects you wherever you are in the world. It's the fastest VPN in the world. There's no buffering or lagging while you're streaming, and it stops your ISP bandwidth throttling. One NordVPN account can be used on up to 10 devices. It is premium cybersecurity for the price of a cup of coffee per month. I use it. That's how I get my Gundam t-shirts. To get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/getplayed. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. There's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description box. NordVPN/getplayed.
Rent, you ever been on a cruise?
No, the thought terrifies me.
Yeah, me too. I don't think is it for you? Is it like just being adrift, or is it more like the kind of claustrophobia of it, or maybe a low from column A, a low from column B?
Yeah, both. Definitely being in the middle ocean.
Yeah.
Just for a prolonged amount of time.
Yeah.
And also, I've seen the rooms on cruises. I think I would have a panic attack.
They can be pretty small, and depending on where you are in the ship. I remember this one trip that I was thinking of. Our room was in the middle of the ship, so it had no window.
Oh no,
that's rough. I'm also the other factor for me is, and I already mentioned Pooker, is like I'm like a hygiene / sanitary sort of like I would say like I'm like a germaphobe, but like I like things to be clean, and like it's one reason I'm not like crazy about like camping or the outdoors in general, though I like nature. And so I'm just like it feels like a very unhygienic environment.
Yeah, they because you can only be as clean as you are.
Yes,
but then you open up a place like that to the rest of humanity, and everybody else is fucking disgusting.
It's really, it's true.
It's tough. I will say, I have 2 funny memories real quick too.
Mm-hmm.
One of which was that my youngest brother had never seen a buffet before, like a breakfast buffet, and he was so excited because he was like truly like a little kid at this point. And we're like, we'll go get whatever you want. And he comes back with a mountain of bacon on his plate, and that was it. And it was so fun. It was so funny. We were like, you can't eat this much bacon. Like, you actually can't do that. And he was very upset about it. And then one of the things on one of the days, because they kind of change out the stations every day.
Yeah.
They had to sort of like build your own sort of like walk like sort of situation.
Yes.
And I remember me and my brothers like got like 3 bowls each because we were like, this fucking rules. Because we were just like, you get like the raw ingredients and stuff, and then you give it to them, and they like stir fry it in the wok. And I was like, I gotta get another one. That was so good.
The novelty of that at a buffet. Like I remember the first time I was like, oh, there's like an omelet bar, and this guy will make a fucking omelet for me.
Yeah,
like that is really something.
I think hotel omelet is honestly one of my favorite foods.
Wow,
I love that
hotel omelet. I feel like they can be hit and miss.
So when the cheese ain't melting all the way, when
Yeah.
they're doing it too fast.
Yeah.
Eggs a little burnt, but the cheese ain't melted.
It's
What's
also
going on?
like I'm also thinking of like because there's sometimes you mentioned hotel restaurants and sometimes you get like the half-assed sort of hotel restaurant or sometimes you just get like they just have that just the breakfast buffet and they've just got like their version of omelets is some pre-made stuff that's sitting in a chafing dish and that's not ideal. But
And don't hit me with this. Sometimes they say omelet, but they actually mean scramble.
they got the big thing of scrambled eggs and like some cheese you can melt on there. You know, it's not really the same thing.
Hold on. I don't want to move off of this just yet. Hold on. Don't move on. Don't move on just yet. Don't move on. Vamp for a second. Fuck. Oh God. Hold on. You know who made me an omelet one time?
Who's that?
Albert Wesker.
Worth it. Rochelle, we got some new ranch lore, which I know not new to some of the some of your audience who checks out your Twitch stream over at twitch.tv/yard__sard.
Not to the ranch stands.
Not to the ranch stands. I was unaware that you and your friend Joanna have your own podcast.
We do have a podcast.
It's called The D-Files. I listened to an episode. I really enjoyed it. I thought you two have such a great chemistry. But it's about ghosts. It's like a lot of paranormal stuff you dig into.
Yeah. Me and Joanna, we are friends from high school in Thailand.
Wow.
And actually, she's also an audio engineer at Team Coco and just happened to also work with Matt.
Yeah, we worked in the same
before.
office back
That's wild.
in my Sirius XM days. And let me tell you something. If you think ranch is interesting, Joe's very interesting. I say affectionately. Joe's the best.
Yeah, but we had a paranormal encounter together in high school.
Wow.
And ever since then, we've just been very fascinated by these things and ghosts. And Joanna has experienced a lot of things.
Right.
And I've experienced a few things myself.
Wow.
We say that we're like believers who don't want to believe.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I was going to say,
And opposite molders.
would you say that experience you guys had together made you closer friends, or were you guys already friends before that?
we were already very close before that. We did have a third girl in our little trio, and she thought we were full of shit. So
Wow.
You cut her loose.
I thought you were going to say she was a ghost.
Yeah, she lived in this well and she was always wet.
Megan died 20 years ago. My God.
You see Megan too?
I didn't.
Ugh.
Really underwhelming? Oh, man. Yeah, I like Superman. Do you like that? You like that Superman?
Man, I loved Superman.
Had a lot of fun.
Sort of a reverse Megan too.
Can we tell you, speaking of Joanna, the episode I listened to, I don't know if you want to relitigate this here. She told a story about having what sounded like a legitimate addiction to eating quesadillas and then getting this fixed by going to a hypnotherapist. It had me yelping both quesadillas and hypnotherapists because it was so compelling.
Yeah. I hear those things like do work.
Yeah.
Though. Like I feel like I've heard several people be like, "Yeah, I saw a hypnotherapist and I haven't like smoked cigarettes in like 30 years."
Right.
Like, yeah.
it 100% worked for her. She
That's
stopped
wild.
eating quesadillas.
But didn't it? Wait, hold on. Didn't it take 2 tries?
It actually took 1 try, but she had a
Okay.
Groupon for 2 sessions.
I see.
Got it.
I see.
But
I
it
I
see.
think that's
did-
the second one.
Did work immediately for
Okay.
her.
So wild.
God, I
will say, just from listening to the episode, people should check it out. People should check out the D-Files wherever you get podcasts. But I was like, a quesadilla addiction. And then you hear her describing the details of this and is like, oh, it sounds like this was legitimately disrupting your life.
yeah. But also, like, I hear quesadilla addiction, and I'm just thinking about how often I eat quesadillas. I'm
Right.
like, oh, it's like I'm borderline.
I call that my diet.
Yeah. Gosh, if I could see a hypnotherapist and tell him that, like, I'm like, I can't have like sugar anymore.
Right.
I would just be a completely different guy.
I might do it. I
Yeah.
might see what a hypnotherapist can do for old wags.
Yeah. Man, I think probably A lot.
I scare them straight. They get out of the industry.
What would you like help with today? You? All of it, buddy.
All right,
We're both wearing New Balances.
What's that?
We're both wearing New Balance.
How about that?
Look at us.
The New Balance kids.
We're the
You don't like that? Maybe not the best association to have.
We're the New Balance kids. Adult men. Some days, your brain needs a vacation your body can actually afford. That's where IndaCloud comes in. You juggle the chaos. You answer the emails. You even go outside sometimes. So yeah, you've earned a better way to unwind. Enter IndaCloud. Federally legal THC in the form of gummies, pre-rolls, and flour, designed to turn hanging on into fully chilling. So, if you're 21 or older, head to indacloud.co and use code GETPLAYED to get 25% off your first order plus free shipping. That's indacloud.co, code GETPLAYED, 25% off, free shipping. Just a better vibe in your mailbox. So here's the thing. Look, I got sent some of this stuff, all right? I ate one of the orange soda gummies, okay? Now, look, I'll be honest. I'm a bit of a lightweight, all right? I'm not out here blazing it. I'm not over here, insert euphemism here. I'm not doing any of that, all right? I'm not always doing it. But when I do, I like to just chill out and relax. It made me very silly with my friends, and they all had a nice time enjoying IndaCloud. It sounds too smooth to be legal, right? But it is. IndaCloud's products are Farm Bill compliant, third-party tested, and made for grown-ups who want a buzz without the need to drive 25 minutes to dispensary. And that's just a fact. Dispensaries are 25 minutes from wherever you personally are. That's just how it is. More than 50,000 people already trust them because when it feels this good, it should also feel easy. Whether you're chasing deeper sleep, better focus, or just some peace between your streaming marathons, this is how adults get elevated now. If you're 21 or older, now's your chance to float above the stress because IndaCloud, see what they did, is giving all new customers 25% off their first order plus free shipping. Use code GETPLAYED or click the link in the show notes to claim your discount. That's indacloud.co, INDACLOUD.co. Use code GETPLAYED for free shipping plus 25% off your first order. Fill out their quick survey when you order to support this show and make your week way more enjoyable, all thanks to IndaCloud.
Enough bullshit. Let's talk about some video games. The question for the room is, what are you playing?
If I were to lose you, I'd probably lose myself. Oh, hey, everybody, how you doing?
Oh, wow, it looks like it's Joel from The Last of Us.
It's me, Joel Miller. And oh, wait, I'm sitting on something kind of crinkly. Oh, hey, it's one of them damn comic books Ellie likes.
Oh, yeah, Ellie, she does collect those comic books.
Yeah, she's always collecting these comic books.
And I guess also the comic cards later on.
The cards that correspond with the book.
Yeah, you
wouldn't.
Right. I mean, you wouldn't know about that. Oh, well, maybe honestly, I've said too much. Honestly.
No, I know all about all kinds of ephemera.
Sure. Joel, I imagine that you've probably been dealing or reeling, I should say, from the shakeups that have happened over at the TV adaptation of I guess Your Life.
I hate seeing my parents fight.
Yeah, boy,
it's brutal out there. But you know what? It's hats off to both. I love both guys deeply. They're both great guys, and I respect them in their work. But you know what? Nothing's gonna ever take me away from my sweet Ellie and in finding comic books for her. You know.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of which, I thought this was a napkin, but you might be interested in this.
Hey, it's one of them comic books that Ellie likes. Hey, but I do want to speak on something real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please. I want to hear.
The Resident Evil 4 merchant.
Yeah.
Actually called me in. I'm temping for him today.
Oh, that's great. Because obviously the merchant isn't here. It's nice. And we had some Resident Evil talk by coincidence in advance of where the merchant would usually make their appearance. Not available today, but we're great to have you in his stead.
I'm always happy to be here. You know, I'm always just one phone call away from the RE4 merchant. We go way back. We're good friends.
It's nice to know, like, even though you're not of exactly the same generation, that the two of you have formed a bond based on your iconography.
You know, I actually got started in this business before him, but he sort of took off and he blew up in this really fantastic, significant way. And I was just waiting for my shot to get called up to the big leagues, and now here we are.
Yeah, I guess if we account for that 20-year time jump, you would have gotten started before, right?
Yeah.
If I'm tracking the chronology correctly, you got the cold open of, again, your life.
And we did that Boyhood style.
That's right. Oh, yeah. You shot that in real time.
We shot that in real time. So, and that did happen. So, you know.
Yeah, sure.
My poor, sweet Sarah.
Yeah, my condolences.
Those Fedra agents.
Yeah, boy. Up to no good.
Always up to no good. But anyway.
I could talk all day about federal overreach.
And how great it is, and we love it.
Wait, Joel, I don't want to hear about your politics, actually. I don't want to hear this rural Texas man's politics in 2025.
What do you mean? I'm just a 60-year-old man. I'm just some 60-year-old white guy that has seen horrors upon horrors.
Loves guns.
I just love
explosives.
Guns. And any excuse to fire one off right through the skull of somebody that's standing in my way. Anyway, the merchant told me I had to ask a particular question. What are you playing?
Wow, well delivered.
I keep wanting to sing the song from A Star Is Born, but that's a different guy.
Yeah, it's a different guy.
Kind of a similar guy, though, if you think about it.
Wait, hold on. What? I thought you were wearing like a bib. That's not a bib at all. What is?
Interesting. It's one of them comic books that he likes.
I will throw the question.
I gotta go.
Thank you, Joel. I will throw the question over to Matt. Matt, what are you playing?
I think I can answer that with two very simple words.
Yes.
Oh, banana.
Oh, banana.
I almost texted this to you literally today. I don't know how we're not going to just say, oh, banana for the rest of the episode. It's the first couple of times I heard it, I was like, that's going to maybe become grating at a certain point. And then it happens 50 more times, and you're sort of like, actually, this is the only thing I got going for me.
It's so gratifying.
I love this game. And so, I already talked about getting the game.
Yeah.
Got it with my boys, Patrick, Connor, and Jeremy. Had a nice time. Took it to Palm Springs. I'm playing it, and immediately I'm sort of just like, oh, no. This is maybe, I don't know, the greatest game I've ever played. It's so fun. It's so great. And it's like, the Odyssey, the Mario Odyssey bones are there, and like you sort of do feel that influence a lot because it's the same team. But
the thing I didn't talk about last week when I was giving my impressions, but it is the Odyssey team with this a little bit of change in personnel.
So it's like the probably the closest we'll get to an Odyssey sequel, because I would imagine they'll go in a completely different direction. Who could say at this point? Gosh. When are we going to get a 3D Mario? Anyway, I would love it for the Switch too.
It'll happen.
I'm playing this thing. I'm loving it. So I just think this is interesting. In this game, in Tears of the Kingdom, in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the big new mechanic was you can build stuff for this. And go ahead and just build a bunch of crazy stuff. In this game, it's like, what if you could just break everything? And I think that's just very interesting. It's two sides of the same coin, but it's also I do think that I think we're seeing like Roblox and Minecraft's influence now get into these types of games.
For sure, yeah.
Because I feel like, obviously you have stuff like the Hulk game that we've talked about, what's it called?
I think it was Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
Ultimate Distraction. Him with a a picture of a naked lady. Look over there. She's sneaking around doing stuff. But I think it's so fun, and it's just, I also just love Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong is just one of the great characters of our time.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the redesign. I think it's great. I thought I was going to be annoyed by Pauline singing. And
it's great.
Ooh, whoa. I love it. It's better than that, certainly. But I love it, and I love that it's just like you could do it. You could do this game just straight down the path it wants you to follow.
Yes.
Or you could just spend a lot of time like what I'm doing and just like I'm just going to try to see how much of the stuff I can break and just break stuff, and then that often will help you find like bananas and stuff. But I'm also really liking like the little challenge levels that you find as well.
100%.
They're so amazing. They're so well crafted and so well done. And the ones that are like in the 2D or I guess the side scrolling style are a lot of fun also. And I just think it's like obviously it didn't launch at launch with the Switch 2, but this is like I don't know. It's just like this is a great reason to get a Switch 2 if you don't have one. I think
it's I may talk about this again when we get to our main topic, but so much was made about the PlayStation 2 launch, and as the Switch 2 launched, we even on this podcast compared to the PlayStation 2 launch and its dearth of quality titles. This alone makes it better than the PlayStation 2 launch.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was no game on this level that was available within the first year plus of the PlayStation 2's existence.
And this game is kind of also in some ways reminding me of even Astrobot. Like I feel like when we were playing Astrobot, we were like, this game's sort of reminding me of like good Mario.
Yes.
And now I was sort of like, does Nintendo even got it like that still? And of course they got it like that still. It's Nintendo though. This is like the main thing that they're good at, this type of game. And I can't wait to see how many levels deep are you at this point?
I'm a decent way in, but it made less progress than last time that it would have liked. But I've gotten through some different biomes. I've descended to a certain depth.
I like that they keep talking about this president that I don't know anything about yet. I think that's just kind of funny.
I'm curious what kind of closure we're going to get on all the lore.
Yeah.
The stuff kind of gets trickled out. But yes, I feel like we're gonna learn what that is at some point.
And I do think it's interesting that Donkey Kong has been redesigned. Pauline obviously redesigned to be a little kid.
And completely retconned in terms of her relationship with Donkey Kong, unless we're going to get some explanation at some point. Maybe the president explains everything that's been happening.
My biggest hope is that it is a human man.
And we get a Kojima-length cutscene explaining all the protocols that led to the Pauline being cloned. And her descendant being befriending Donkey Kong in order to get to befriending Cranky Kong's descendant, so that new Donkey Kong and her can forge a bond.
So I do want to bring up Cranky Kong, because he has a presence in the game.
Yes.
You can meet him, not redesigned. He looks like exactly the same as I remember.
It's less overt than what's been done to say DK, the titular DK. It's just like there's stuff you can look at that's really tangible, and it's like, oh, I can see how they've evolved and updated this character design. Cranky Kong looks more like the Cranky Kong you remember, sure. But I'm sure there are tweaks to it. I'm sure if you side by side the character models, you'd see some differences.
You have to get into the real, you have to hack the game. You're like, wait, they gave him a huge hop. No wonder he's hunched over like this. Can't stand up straight.
And put the hot coffee mod into Donkey Kong Bonanza to see that fucking
we should do an
rig.
episode about mods.
Yeah, I've thought about that. I've thought about how to do it. I've definitely had some segments in mind with mods, but an all mods episode would be interesting. It's just it's such a sprawling topic.
Yeah.
And I know there's some people the only thing I play is modded Minecraft or modded Stardew Valley. Because some of these games have such extensive modding communities that you can just play these things endlessly. I mean, certainly
with big naturals.
Right. I mean, an iconic mod, but also I feel like also randomizers could be an episode in of itself, because that's such a big part of the modding community. And you was the Pokemon mod you were playing, was that a randomizer, or was that more just that was
a
redesign?
A ROM hack? So that was its own thing. It was a fan made game within the engine of Fire Red or something.
Right.
Gosh, I should get back to that. Actually, that's the thing. We'll just never finish all the games we want. But
I won't even finish all the games I want to from this calendar year.
No.
It's already I've given up. I'm just it's fucking July. It's I'm just not going to do it. It sucks. So every year I was like, hey, I have a clean slate. Maybe I can't go through my whole backlog, but the new games that are coming out, I can knock these out. I can focus on the ones that I want to pay attention to and dedicate my gaming hours to. And you just, there's enough fucking time in a year.
I am prioritizing this because I don't think it's going to take me 100 hours to finish this thing.
Although I will say, I checked out the How Long to Beat on DK Bananza, and it is a little bit meatier than I anticipated.
Really?
Yeah, let me bring it up right now.
Is it? Do we think it's sub 30?
This one has so with a few more reviews, there are a few more reports logged since the last time I checked it. This has main plus side quests at 24 hours.
Okay.
So to me, like with my playtime and I feel like the people who self-select for How Long to Beat are usually a little faster at games than me. I think that probably puts me at about 30 hours of DK Bonanza. That's still a good chunk of time.
Yeah, and I'm about, at this point in my Death Stranding 2 playthrough, somewhere north of 60 hours, I think.
Right.
And I'm not halfway done with it yet. But those are the two games that I'm prioritizing. But yeah, I would like to, I think maybe when we're done with Bonanza at some point, do like an episode about it. Because like I think there's more to say about it, and there will be more to say about it as we play more of it.
Yes.
I just think it's like, it's an astounding achievement, I think. I've been reading about voxels.
Right.
I've been reading about just like all the little I haven't even touched the art maker thing yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems cool that people are just like making stuff with which seems dangerous. People might be making crude stuff with the little clay that they can make stuff with in the game.
I mean, I'm sure, everyone's first thought.
Butts and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Nasty.
I know.
Shouldn't be. I think there's all this talk about Nintendo bricked my console because I hacked it. No, I think if you make something rude in the Donkey Kong Bananza art maker, you should get your console bricked, and they should be allowed to do it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Not to our boy Donkey Kong.
Bricks for dicks.
We'll be right back.
All right, we're back. I've also been playing Bonanza. I am going to sit on my thoughts because Matt, I had ideas as you, is that I think we should probably. Or I think, not probably. We obviously have to loop in Heather, but I know Heather's playing it too. But like, I feel like we could do an episode about Donkey Kong Bonanza and talk about all of our play experience at length rather, when we were all further into the game. But yeah, it's rad, and for what I expected to be like I don't know, maybe Nintendo's equivalent of a AA game. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is a cool game. It's not their main thing, but it's like, this is like it's like a new mainline Kirby game. I really like the last Kirby game for the Switch, but you know what I mean? I thought it was more going to be on that level.
Well, that's actually an interesting point because of how much I love that Kirby game, I should have known this was going to be a fucking banger because like I was like excited for this game.
Yeah,
I was already like, this is going to be great. I'm just excited for new Donkey Kong. Like, honestly, I was expecting like maybe like an 8 out of 10 or something, and like be like, this is great.
I mean. Yes, I was expecting, like, for me, I thought the ceiling on this might be like an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And which is like, hey, that's great. I would love to have a cool new Nintendo first party game that I can have some fun with. But then I'm just like, oh wait, no, this is a triumph. This is like maybe a masterpiece. It's so good.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll save my thoughts on that. I wanted to have something else to talk about because I've also been playing Balatro, and no one wants to hear me drone on about Balatro again. But I have been
incorrect. I'm curious.
I have been doing daily. My Balatro diet is I just do one run a day, and I find like that's like a fair amount of time. And it's but it keeps me from like getting sucked in too deep.
Yeah.
And
weaning yourself down to one pack a day.
One run a day on days when I play video games, which is not every day. So, but I mean, like that's a decent chunk of time. I'm getting through runs faster because I just know how to make decisions a little bit more quickly. And it also like feels like slow progress towards my ultimate goal for whatever dumb fucking reason on Game Pass. I'm now working towards the achievement where you get gold stakes on every deck. So it's just, you just got to knock out a bunch of wins. But another game I've been playing that I'm really, really enjoying and will highly recommend to anyone who is a fan of this genre. The Drifter was released on July 17th of this year. This is a graphic adventure game with pixel art, developed and published by Australia-based small team Powerhoof and directed by Dave Lloyd. It is this grim, dark, horror feel to it. It reminds me of to go back to the 90s, the Gabriel Knight games, and particularly the first Gabriel Knight game, which also had this a pixel art look as opposed to the second game, which was FMV, and the third game, which was 3D. But unlike the Gabriel Knight games, it has puzzles that are straight ahead and make sense, do not require moon logic. And I find the story really engaging. Like, it's an incredibly high quality of writing and really expert voice acting, which I was not expecting. Sometimes with indie games, it's like maybe that's a thing that's perhaps a little bit more rough around the edges. But no, both those things are absolutely, completely on point. And the story in particular starts off, you're on a train. You know I'm on board.
Choo-choo.
You're on the choo-choo. But it's you're a titular drifter. You are an on-house guy who is riding the rails to try to bum a ride to go to your mom's funeral, and through a series of events, basically some mysterious interlopers end up attacking your train car with guns. You bail out. And then you're on your way to an adventure that quickly spirals from there. But one thing I really like about it is it's really digging in on homelessness, which is a thing you don't really see in games.
Yeah.
Or honestly, even in media all that much.
Yeah.
It's like, I really like the movie Eddington. I think that that movie I gotta see it. I thought it was great. But like, there's an unhoused character in that movie who's kind of like typical of like what you'll see that depiction being in art, which is like he's just like kind of like a babbling guy who's got some sort of mental illness. Here it's like, hey, this guy is a guy who works, but a guy who doesn't have a place to live, and a guy who's he doesn't like being condescended to. There's a reporter character who's kind of like doing a profile on homelessness, who's like he has some. A very early game sort of confrontation with, but it's like oh, he's depicted as a whole person, and just also for that maybe the player character, it's the kind of thing of like this is the kind of thing that in interactive entertainment can channel feelings in you that you can't get from something that you're just passively observing, and so I like that's part of it, but also it's like. I think it's basically it's immersed in that world and showing like kind of like how much society is stacked up against people who are experiencing this, but just amplifying like the violence that is happening. Mm-hmm. And so there's some really horrific violence that happened in this game that seems to be perhaps science fiction-y, perhaps supernatural. Perhaps these things are being interpreted as science fiction or supernatural because of just the way they're being because there's also possibly a real world thing that's happening. But there is an element of that is clearly supernatural, which is that your character experiences death and then can relive those moments. And so there's kind of like a minor time loop element to this. One of the scenes that happened very early on that involves your character drowning just like made me gasp with how horrifically it was depicted, and then this widening out reveal of what was actually happening. That I was just like, holy shit, this is a nightmare world. Great aesthetics. I mentioned the pixel art. A great. Like fantastic lighting in this game, really good soundtrack. It's super Australian, which I like. Just as an American who has like has had a lifelong fascination with Australia. Yeah. Just to hear all these strong Aussie accents and Australian specifics. To hear the hood of a car called a bonnet, things like that. Yeah. It's all a lot of fun. And then the other thing this game has, and this ties in with how horrific it is, there is genuine tension to the experience of. Which is really hard to do in a point-and-click adventure game. It's not a sort of genre that lends itself well to feeling like you're legitimately in peril. But this game accomplishes it, through its tone and through its audio-video cues. I really like the Drifter. It is as of now on Steam on sale through July 31st is like kind of like a release. Windows thing. So like if you are, again, someone who likes graphic adventures, I definitely think it's something to check out. Also, I will say a lot of the adventure games I've responded to in recent years, and I'll lump Blueprints in this because even though I have mixed feelings about Blueprints, but it is the sort of thing of like it fits the template of what I'm going to say, which is that they're games that kind of deviate from the classic graphic adventure formula of a character who's on screen as your avatar moving around from a location, and then you've got a bunch of series of verbs or you can mouse over things and interact with them in different ways. They've been games like Case of the Golden Idol, where it's like, well, this is like a different way of presenting essentially this core gameplay, but it's not the way that you would play it in like a King's Quest or a Secret of Monkey Island. Or Return of the Obra Dinn, a similar sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
These are games that kind of like have found new ways to present these gameplay concepts built around emergent storytelling and lateral thinking puzzles. This one feels more like a classic Sierra or LucasArts adventure game. So that's a big part, but feels contemporary in the way it's presented. There's a great like archive of various clues that you can look through. And, as far as like the sort of hunt the pixel aspects of this genre, it's kind of muted. Your cursor automatically changes to whatever actions you can take. And again, all the puzzle solutions are relatively intuitive. So it's really working for me on those levels. Again, it's just like kind of feeling like a modern, but also throwback game at the same time. But that's The Drifter, and that's what I've been playing.
I'm gonna have to check that out. It sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think
it sounds like an interesting experience.
It's very much a Wiger game.
Yeah.
I think you would like it just because I think the storytelling is so strong.
Yeah.
And the atmosphere is top notch. But you have to because it's all puzzles, and so just it's all puzzles and dialogue. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about board games.
Okay.
In quotes. See what we did there?
We tricked you.
Got ya.
We tricked you, didn't we?
Got
You
ya.
thought we were talking about some Yahtzee or Trouble.
Quote unquote board games. These suckers.
They thought, they thought we were going to talk about fucking some Settlers of Catan or some shit. Guess what, bitch? That ain't it.
We're talking about games where you're on a board. And let's start with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4, which was released on July 11th of this year. Matt, you were absent when recording in its release window, but you've been playing this game, originally developed by Neversoft and the remaster developed by Iron Galaxy.
Yeah, I've been playing this a lot. I've been playing it on my Switch 2.
Wow.
And which it runs great. It runs 60 frames. It's great. It's a great outing on the Switch 2. I had the original. I had 1+2 on Switch 1, and it didn't run as great, but it ran fine enough for a portable, version of it. But this is a great game. Honestly, I think Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, I think, is my canonical favorite of when I've mentioned it in the I guess of the Pro Skater ones.
Sure.
I have a great affection for some of the games later on in the series. Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2 in particular I really love, and Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. But 3 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 is probably one of my most played PlayStation 2 games ever. Just because I would just play that game like 2-player with my brothers just all day. We'd just go nuts. And we unlocked all these cheats for it and stuff where I remember one of the cheats was like no gravity or something. So when you'd go up a ramp, you would just go so high up in the air, and then we would take that opportunity to be just string together the biggest combo we could before we landed, and that was always so much fun to us. And so that was really great. But I think the remake package here is extremely well done. I think it plays great. It plays because that was the worry. The 1+2 package was made by
Vicarious Visions made the first one, the first remake, and but Vicarious Visions was subsequently acquired by Blizzard and is now Blizzard Albany, so they work on Blizzard projects now. Although it's also an Activision Blizzard, it's but whatever. We don't need to get in their corporate structure. Regardless, it got handed off to Iron Galaxy. Iron Galaxy had previously made Rumble first. They also worked on the Metroid Prime remaster and the PC ports of the Last of Us games. Yeah. So, this is the kind of thing that they have a lot of experience with. And it sounds like they did a great job on this.
They did a great job. There was concern because the thing is there's a particular feeling you want when you're playing these games. And there are games that they've put out, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, which is a remake of, a remaster of 1, 2, and 3. That was it was a digital only game on the PlayStation 3. In that era rather. and they're games that don't play well. Like they don't have the feeling, the correct like it just doesn't feel right when you're playing it.
Yeah,
But,
it's
so,
such a tough balance because you kind of just want like a modern skin atop of the original bones,
Yes.
but that's not as easy as it sounds,
Yeah.
especially if we're talking about, you know, it's when you start dealing with that with animation frames,
Yeah.
You need that level of precision for the moves to feel the same as you remember.
Yes, and but it feels they nailed it. Like there was I was saying like concern of a new studio taking on that task because it's just like a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, but they nailed it. It's a lot of fun. The biggest change to the package is that in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, it was more of an open world. The levels were more of an open world sort of like design. Where
Yes.
like it'd be like each place was its own place, but you could tackle any of the goals just sort of like whenever. Whereas like it used to be like a 2-minute timer or whatever, or whatever, and that's present now. But they've changed the way that the goals work in this, where there's not like NPCs or like skaters you go up to get the goals. They're just
Wait.
sort of like in the world now.
Was that present in 4? Because I 3 and 4 is where I stopped playing Tony Hawk
Yeah.
games. I messed around with a little bit with Tony Hawk's Underground, but my memory is that Tony Hawk's Underground is when the NPCs started to become the quest givers. But that happened in 4.
They had that. That's like the first their
Okay.
first dance with it. It became like I think more refined in the later ones, but like they had just like. It was like pretty basic. It was just like people kind of like scattered around, kind of just like standing very still.
Right.
And then you go, Rodney Mullins like standing somewhere and be like, do a kickflip down this rail in Alcatraz or whatever. Like that sounds like I've never played the game before. Do a kickflip down a rail. What's wrong with me?
I mean, you wouldn't have landed that trick is the thing.
No, would have fucking fallen on my ass.
Yeah.
But gosh, and my algorithm right now is a lot of skateboarding stuff.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting a board and trying
Wow.
and learning some tricks.
Have you skated in the past?
In the past, I have, but like not with any like. I never done any like tricks.
Yeah, sure.
I was just able to like kind of stay on a skateboard and like ride it around. But I've never done a kickflip. Wouldn't it be cool if I could do a kickflip?
I mean, it would be cool, but I'm going to be lowered into the ground without ever having done a kickflip. Be cool if I could do a tomahawk slam dunk too. That's not going to fucking happen.
But see, like, you might be okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I am. Like, I kind of want to die having done a kickflip before, and even if it's the thing that causes my very death.
Yeah.
I want to have done it.
You could, you absolutely could. I bet if you put your mind to it, you could learn how to do a kickflip in like a year.
Yeah, I think. Honestly, I do think if I give myself a year, I could do it. I just am now worried that I know I don't seem old, but let's face it, I'm not as young as I once was.
No, it's true. Father Time comes for us all, and there's a certain point where it's just like, jumping is just so much harder on my, like knees and back than it used to be. I just I can't do that anymore,
Yeah, I like
even running, which I used to do a lot. I still run some, but it's just like, man, it's such a pounding on the old joints.
I had batting practice last night on my baseball team, which is also a thing that could fucking wreck me for the rest of my life. Right. And like the way I'm my swing is bad, and I'm learning to fix my swing. And the reason I know my swing is bad is that when I'm doing it, it hurts. And it shouldn't, because I'm swinging the wrong thing. I'm swinging with my upper body, and you're actually not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
It's from the lower body.
Right.
And I'm trying to reorient the way that I'm doing it, and it's actually very hard. Because if you're used to doing something wrong for a long time, you continue to do it that way until you just, I guess, magically start doing it correctly. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to change it.
This happens all the time in the NBA.
Yeah.
A player will have what is called like a broken jump shot.
Yeah.
And they'll have to learn, completely relearn the mechanics. And it's tough because they've been athletic enough and skilled enough to, get to the NBA. They've been that good at everything else, but actually their shooting is such a, bottleneck for them to be able to send to the next level that they've got to just completely remake their form at a relatively late stage in their career. It's got to be so. It's so tough mechanically to do something different than you've been doing it your whole life.
It would be like trying to, at this point in my life, learn to write left-handed. Like,
Yes,
it's
right.
like, because like it's something that you technically could do, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like not intuitive at all.
Matt, you should come skate with me and Mark.
Oh, I would ranch. I would love it. I would
Wow.
love. That's honestly, please. Like, let's set it up because like I need people who are going to be nice to me and help me.
Rochelle,
Can you do a kickflip?
No.
how long have you skated?
I started when I met Mark.
Oh, wow.
So I was also 29 when I started.
An adult skateboarding learner.
I did get hurt a lot.
Yeah.
And I saw Mark's arm come out of his socket.
Oh, my God.
But there...
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with somebody else.
But it can be done.
It can be done.
Can be done.
Because I mean, the thing is, like, my algorithm is like old guys like us doing it. I'm sort of like, I think it could do it. Like, it's like it seems like a thing that like if you could just learn to do. But all that aside, I will say I haven't really gotten into the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 in this package. I'm still kind of messing around in 3, and 3 is really, really fun.
I remember really liking 3.
It's great.
Yeah.
I wish that some of the secret characters from those days were in it, like Darth Maul and stuff. But like, that's a licensing nightmare. I'm sure.
And the licensing, the other licensing issue I saw is that a whole bunch of the original music tracks are missing in this game, which is a little bit of a bummer.
Yes, they could not secure the rights to, I think, the most expensive song to license, which is AC/DC's Thunderstruck.
Right.
They couldn't make it happen this time. A miracle they had it the first time. But they added some new songs to the soundtracks, which is great. One of my favorite artists, Jeff Rosenstock, has a song from his album Hell Mode called Head in the game, and it's great. I love that song. And I think overall as a package it's great, and it might even exceed how I feel about the 1+2 remake, because I think that's a home run, and I'm having a blast with this one. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to just playing it a little bit more and playing and getting into the four of it all, because 4 I didn't spend that much time with, honestly. I like skipped over 4 because
You mean when you were younger?
Yeah, when I was younger, I had skipped over it because I was just kind of like, oh, like honestly, maybe I just couldn't, buy it. I was a kid, and like my parents probably were not going to buy me another one if they had just gotten me one too.
The 4th entry is also probably at where people are starting to get burned out on the concept to some degree.
But then, like, you do Tony Hawk's Underground, that seems like so completely different and new that then I'm like, okay, I'm back in on this, and then Underground 2 comes out, and you're like, okay, now this has Jackass stuff in it, and that's my favorite shit on earth. and that stuff, I'm sure has aged in an interesting way. We did watch Jackass 2 over the weekend in Palm Springs, and my friends were just laughing our fucking asses off. It was so good. But there's so many different types of boards in games, Nick.
Matt, it's true.
Do you know there was a Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer game that I played? Yeah, as a teenager as well.
I remember Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer, which I never got into, and I remember that was meant to be the counterpart of kind of like, hey, we got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, maybe Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer will be the next big thing. Yeah. It didn't really take off, partly because just from a gameplay standpoint, surfing is a little bit harder to, to make it to give as many diverse sort of gameplay sort of experiences, to have as many mechanics as you can with skateboarding, because it's just a little bit more extensible. But yeah,
plus how do you want sharks out there?
We got to look out for the sharks. How do you want to do this? Do you want to just sort of like bounce back and forth? Should we kind of talk through things chronologically? Because I got some entries too I want to talk about.
Let's get some of the, I guess, let's bounce back and forth.
Going back in time, a game I remember. Yeah, feel free to make the Wayne's World doodly-doos if it helps you.
Unless we can't use it, unless we can't secure the rights.
Spotify takes down the episode.
Get a cease and desist from Mike Myers and Dana Carvey.
The game I remember as a kid was an arcade game developed by Atari called 720. And it had a little degree symbol, but I always remember it just being called 720. I remember it as being a game you played with a trackball, but I guess it was a stick. Maybe there was a different game arcade cabinet, skateboarding arcade cabinet you played with a trackball, but whatever it was, I couldn't track it down, and it was not 720. But 720 was a cool sort of like very early on attempt at making again, an 80s sort of version of skateboarding, which was much less aerial, recreated in video game form. I've got a little footage here, Matt, which I can show you, just so you can kind of see the sort of what this looked like in the era. But yeah, this is kind of like an open skate sort of vibe.
Wow.
There's a bunch of different like types. There's like a half pipe, which you can see there. And I actually think that's like
legitimately
art and animation is pretty damn good for
very
1986.
impressive.
Yeah. And then
Wow, you won $50 in that.
yeah, and then you've had these ones which are more of like a free skate, sort of a freestyle park that you can kind of go through. I don't know if they still do this in any competitive skating, if they still do like slaloms or downhill or whatever. But it feels like kind of archaic to have this represented. But there were versions of this as well in some of the game's various modes. But I remember it being very cool to play, and also it just feeling at a time when skateboarding was such a new concept.
Yeah.
And I'm very little. I'm like single digits age. I'm like a little boy. Just remembering this being like a cabinet that you could go up and look
Holding
at.
a big lollipop.
Yeah, exactly. Retained as my signature to this day. Let me see if I can
take down a big lollipop in this day and age.
I'd get sick.
It'd be bad, right?
I'd get really sick to my stomach.
I barely want like a normal size lollipop, if I'm
Yes.
being honest. I got to throw away a stick.
Look at this cabinet. Isn't that rad?
That is
It's
really, really cool.
multicolored with kind of the checkerboard to it.
Yeah, the colors are really nice.
Yeah.
And honestly, like just to go back to the art style of that does look legitimately like really cool still. Like if that came out like as like a throwback sort of like indie game, you'd be like, this is amazing.
I'll roll from this right back into another game of that era that I remember more vividly, because I actually had this game on my dad's Commodore 64 and played a much better version on my friend's Atari Lynx a few years later. A 1987 game from Epix called California Games.
Mm-hmm.
You and I are lifelong SoCal surfer dudes.
That's right.
California is a big part of our identity. This is like a mini game collection that had a skateboarding game on a half pipe, also had a surfing game, so it had it had both, but it also had a bunch of like other games like hacky sack and frisbee. I remember really liking the hacky sack game.
That
could
like, seem good.
What a fucking dumb thing to simulate, but there was just something about being able to kick a little bag in the air a bunch.
Keeping like something in the air.
Yeah,
it's a timeless game.
But again, this was a relatively this was a cruder representation of skateboarding, and it was just part of the collection. But yeah, there was the half pipe going up and back and doing tricks. And I don't know if I did skateboard briefly as a child. I never got to go on a half pipe. You ever been on a half pipe?
No, that's very scary to me.
Ranch, you ever been on a half pipe?
Yeah, I can
What?
drop in.
You can drop in?
Yeah,
Wow, what was it? What's it like?
it's scary.
It seems
it's
scary,
It's
but
always
cool.
scary.
Yeah, but as a kid, I always thought it would be like the coolest fucking thing to get a bunch of momentum and then go up the other side and like flip around and come back down.
Would you say...
I haven't been on like a big one.
Yeah, sure.
Like a small one.
How long did it take you to learn to drop in?
Probably a month.
A month, okay. And so from that month onward, would you say your success rate for dropping in and not like eating shit is gone? Can you successfully drop in every time and be like, okay, I'm like on, or like, are you doing it sometimes and you're like falling on accident?
I would say once you know how to drop in, it's usually close to 100% success rate.
Wow.
That's huge. Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you drop in, you won't drop out.
Nick, do you want to come skateboarding with me, Ranch, and Mark?
Hi, fellow skaters. I'm Wiger.
Your head falls clean off. I got a couple.
Yeah.
Because we're talking a lot of skateboards, and I actually mentioned the surfboard earlier. There's a lot of snowboarding games too.
There are a lot of snowboarding games, and I do have some on my list. But it's interesting. I feel like, again, going back to what I was saying earlier, there's something about skateboarding that I think that just it's a little bit easier to make free roaming. Snowboarding,
Yes.
it's got to be downhill. Surfing, you're kind of set on a wave. There's not a ton you can do. Where skateboarding just has a little bit more possibilities in terms of gameplay.
Well, to speak on skateboarding then real quick, because there are competitors to the Tony Hawk franchise.
Yes.
Right? So you have the main competitor being the Skate franchise, which is it's coming back.
Yeah, I've never played the skate games, and I've never played Session, which is I guess the super hardcore sim skateboarding game.
Yes, Session is supposed to be like, I mean, I was gonna say like the most accurate, but it's also you're doing it with a video game controller. It's like it's the most, I guess, meticulous with how you like can control the player's feet in the board and stuff.
Right.
And so that seems interesting to me. I have not messed with that. I have messed with Skate. I've messed with Skate actually very recently.
Wow.
I downloaded Skate 3 off of Game Pass and was playing it on my Xbox for a little while. And there's a fun tutorial with Jason Lee playing a fun character. It's great. He's a great skateboarder also.
Yeah.
And which is always just kind of funny to learn.
That he started as a skateboarder and then became an actor.
Yeah. And then there's like other people, like Tim Robinson's a great skateboarder, which is like just funny information. And but it's so Skate is like less arcadey, but also has ridiculous stuff in it too. Like I feel like I see a lot of videos of people launching their character like into like ravines and like doing like as many flips as they can and just like falling, and it's just like that's all I see of it. It's so funny, but you can do like crazy stuff in that too. But it's that one I think sort of prides itself on being a little bit more realistic than the arcadey Tony Hawk games. But I like it to be a little more silly and fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's like moves in like the Tony Hawk games where like in the newest one, you can unlock the Doom guy, right? You can unlock the Doom Slayer, and he has his own move sets. He has like a chainsaw thing that he does, and like a grappling hook thing that he like pulls somebody's intestines in or whatever. Mm-hmm. And like that's just good. That's just good fun. And obviously, it's not real at all. I hope.
Right.
I hope that's not real.
I don't think it's real. I don't think they can get away with making that real.
I hope not.
Yeah. Someone tell us if it is real.
If it's real, let me know. Michelangelo's in the game, but that makes sense because he's a party dude.
Right.
So those ones are more realistic. There is a game that I've messed around with a little bit. Are you familiar with the Ollie Ollie franchise at all?
I've just heard of it. I've never played any of them.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of what you were showing me in 720, where it's like kind of like a side-scrolling. At least my experience of my memory of it is this: that it's like you're on a skateboard and it's like a sort of not digital, it's all digital, but a pixelated character that you're sort of going through and doing like little flips and tricks and stuff like that. Did you ever mess around with the Simpsons skateboarding? Since we're the two Simpsons guys, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
it sucks. It's not good. It's very bad. There are some great Simpsons games, of course, but none of them involve them doing something else.
Yeah,
it's always like like the Simpsons beat 'em up arcade game, of course. The Simpsons Hit and Run and Simpsons Road Rage are all great, but Simpsons Wrestling, Simpsons doing anything else, usually not good.
Right. But I mean, like most licensed games. But there's a lot of bad Simpsons games out there.
There is a pretty good one. There is a good licensed skateboarding game. I don't know if it's like... I remember renting it when I was a little kid and enjoying it because it had songs that I was used to listening to and stuff. And this is Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure. And it's basically a Tony Hawk's Pro... It's exactly like the same mechanics as Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Yes.
But in like a Disney environment, you can be like Woody.
That sounds fun.
You can like be Woody like skating like in Andy's room. Yeah. Like that's just good shit. That's a lot. You could be Tarzan, young Tarzan.
I love that. He's practically skateboarding.
He's practically skateboarding, isn't he? And one of my favorite, I have an arcade cabinet to mention, Top Skater.
Yes, Top Skater. This was a 1997 Sega arcade game built on Model 2 hardware, and where you sit on a skateboard to control it. Directed by Kenji Kano, who would later make Crazy Taxi.
Wow!
And also this little factoid from its Wikipedia page: while developing the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the Neversoft development team spent lunch breaks at a bowling alley near the studio, where they would play and study from Top Skater in the arcade.
It's a really fun game.
Yeah,
I sunk a lot of quarters into that. I think they had one at the Chuck E. Cheese that I went to for a long time.
Yeah, this is a guy getting with an S rank run on this that we're watching in studio.
Wow.
But just like it's to describe it for people who have not seen this cabinet, or to jog your memory if you have, there was basically a mounted skateboard with a little bit of give that you would stand on, and that you could manipulate to do like aerial maneuvers, but of course you're not actually doing them. And then you could also lean to, affect your direction. But then, of course, there's the Dance Dance Revolution, guide bars that you can hold on to for dear life so you don't lose your balance as you go. but it was a very just a very cool experience.
Yes.
And one of those things is just like, oh, this is why we go to arcades. This is something I can't do at home.
Yeah, something now that I can't imagine ever touching with my bare hands ever again. But I had great enjoyment with that game.
Yeah.
That one is a lot of fun memories on that thing for sure. And also I remember being a kid and not having any quarters and kind of standing on it and pretending I'm doing it anyway,
Well, that's the thing. It's like that was you'd have a game like Afterburner with the big joystick or any of those ones that you could sit in, any of the driving sims you could sit in, where it's just like, I can just be in this thing.
Yeah.
And I could just I don't even have to put any tokens in. I can just mess around with it.
Yeah.
It's like a big toy. Yeah. That was Top Skater was cool. And it's interesting they haven't really, I don't know if anyone's ever really made anything that on that same level. I mean, certainly that the Tony Hawk game that had
Tony Hawk's Ride.
Ride didn't really accomplish that at home, but it feels like that's a natural sort of thing that should just be at Dave & Buster's, the equivalent of a modern Top Skater.
I remember it was at an E3 or something like that where he was debuting the board.
Yes.
And there's this... I kind of feel like in the clip, he's such a wholesome guy, and I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
And I'm such a fan of his. You can almost tell a little bit that he's kind of I don't know what this is gonna fucking work. Because he's presenting it almost like Steve Jobs presenting an iPhone, kind of, and he's you can write this at home. It kind of feels like he's kind of I don't really know about this.
Okay, we can't mention Tony Hawk without me once again telling the story of me getting to meet him when he guested on the Comedy Bang Bang TV show, and there was a bit where he had a stunt double for his talk show related stunts.
Yeah.
And that was played by me because I was the closest to his physical proportions, and so I got to wear duplicates of Tony Hawk's clothes to be a stunt guy. He was a lovely man. He was an absolute prince.
This is all I hear about him.
Yeah.
And all I can say is, please come on our show. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Did you like the clothes?
It felt cool.
Isn't that always
Tony
fun?
Hawk.
Because there's always in a situation like that in particular too, where you're sort of being dressed by a costumer or something.
Right, sure.
You're these are not clothes that I'm going to wear normally, so you kind of get to be a different guy for a second. That's always so fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Going back in time a little bit, this is not a game that go ahead and again invoke the Wayne's World sound effects if we're not going to get DMCA'd. This was not a game that I maybe even played. I just remember there was a game called Skate or Die that was multi-platform in the 80s. And this is, again, sort of a mini game collection with a bunch of different skate events. But the one thing I remember is that there was a guy in this game who was kind of their mascot, a man with a purple mohawk, whose name, I guess, was Rodney Recluse, who'd say quips between rounds. You remember this guy?
I've never seen him before, but I'll die for him.
He's old as shit. He's got a tattoo. He's got a purple mohawk. And I guess his face is modeled off of Rodney Dangerfield, which is why he looks like this.
I tell you, my skateboards get no respect. Everyone gets mad at me. I push Mongo.
He says, quit your yakking and go practice here. We just have a bunch of shit that he would say. But the one that I spent a lot more time with and actually owned was a game called TNC Surf Designs Wood and Water Rage. Now, Matt, as a SoCal kid, you're maybe too young for this, but you may remember the TNC Surf Company
that sounds
shirts.
Familiar to me. Yeah.
They had a cast of characters called Da Boys.
I'm in.
Who are this array of various archetypes. There's a cool guy called Joe Cool. There's a tiki guy called Tiki Man. There's a cat called Cool Cat, and then my favorite, the cool gorilla, Thrilla Gorilla.
That's really good.
Yeah, the original surfing gorilla. And I guess they were actually a surfboard brand originally, but I just knew the T-shirts, and I just loved the T-shirts when I was a little boy in elementary school. I thought they were so cool, and they made a game of that had a skateboarding game where you could control either Joe Cool or Tiki Man, and a surfing game where you could pick either Cool Cat or Thriller Gorilla. Now, though, again, I love Thriller Gorilla. the surfing game just had a lot less to it than the skateboarding game. So I spent a lot more time playing as Tiki Man in the skateboarding game, which was more of just like a side scroller, akin to like an endless runner, though I think there were discrete levels, but it's just like how long can you go without dying? And you're jumping over obstacles and ducking over and weaving between them. And it was like, I remember it being super fun.
That sounds awesome, but the t-shirt thing is reminding me of the Big Dog t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sort of thinking, should we get some?
We should, and also that guy should have a game. Why didn't that happen?
What about a body sort of like adult animated cartoon?
That sounds like fun.
Where he kind of like, not like BoJack Horseman, but like kind of like that. Maybe not where he's like all sad. Maybe he's just like a party guy. He likes to hang out.
I guess TNC Surf Designs still exists.
Oh, cool.
Here's a shot of the boys. You can maybe see. There's Thriller Gorilla right there. Tiki
Honestly,
Man.
The big dog's out.
Yeah.
Thriller Gorilla gets his own show.
Yeah.
Straight to series. Thriller Gorilla's amazing.
He's fucking awesome. Okay, should we talk to, 'cause you're going to do it earlier. Should we talk about snowboarding a bit?
Yes, there is a surfing game I do want to go back to real
please.
quick. Trying to find the name of it real quick. Oh, of course it's called, for my little play date, which is the handheld little device that I have with the crank.
Yeah.
Developed by Panic. Is a game called Whitewater Wipeout. It's a little surfing game there.
Wow.
And you use the crank to manipulate the surfboard. And I think, for my money, a better surfing game than Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer, because the movement sort of somehow makes more sense for some reason. That game is a lot of fun. But snowboarding, let's stop talking about water.
Yeah.
Start talking about frozen water, snow.
Yeah, well done. We've talked about it before here, but the games that I think you and I really connected with were SSX and SSX Tricky. SSX was pretty much the only title worth playing at PlayStation 2 launch, part of the EA Sports big label.
Big.
I wish I like the EA Sports big. Gets back to what we were saying about these games. Sometimes part of the fun of them is them feeling arcadey.
Yes.
And for some reason, that sort of arcadey element seems to have been muted there.
Let my man do the worm on a fucking snowboard, please.
Let me play as a Yeti in NBA Street.
Yes,
anyway,
absolutely.
These games have such a great fun. They were so colorful. They had great soundtracks, and those were the snowboarding games that hit. Good sense of speed too. Really, really fun.
SSX 3 sort of was like, what if we went a little more like serious, kind of like it's not as fun as Tricky, because Tricky is like, let's get crazy with it.
Yeah, I didn't play past Tricky.
3, I think, is a good game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little more like technically, like it looks nicer.
Yeah.
Like, so there's like a little more under the hood there. But at the expense of silly characters doing silly things, and certainly no Run DMC, which is kind of interesting to think about too, because that's the like only song in the game, if my memory serves.
Right.
And it's on a loop like the entire time you're playing it, and you don't really get sick of it. It's a good song.
It's kind of the banana of its era, but also because it's SSX Tricky and the song is tricky, it's like, well, there you go.
You got it.
Reminded me of the game I'm playing.
What is this game called? Oh yeah, wait. Thanks, Rev Run.
I really like those SSX games. The other game I remember playing of this era, but spending any time like a decent amount of time with, and I didn't own this game, but my friend had it for Nintendo 64. 1080 snowboarding.
Yes,
and 1080 snowboarding was fun. All the racing games on Nintendo 64 suffered to some degree because there was just like it felt like an upper limit on frame rate due to the hardware, and just like, you know, the sense of speed is such a part of a racer. I guess like, you know, at F-Zero and Episode 1 Racer kind of like worked past that a little bit, but Episode 1 Racer also required like a memory pack expansion to even hit that frame rate. So.
Yeah.
But I did like 1080 snowboarding. I just was more connected with SSX, which comes out a little bit later.
Yeah, I liked SSX a lot. I didn't do 1080.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a Nintendo 64. We were a PlayStation house. So I was Cool Boarders.
That's the thing. So there was the Cool Boarders team, and there was also the Snowboard Kids faction. The Snowboard Kids people are pretty vocal. They're like, hey, Snowboard Kids, that's where it was at.
It's like, okay, fucking calm down.
I believe you.
Snowboard Kids, relax.
Yeah.
I loved Cool Boarders, but it's kind of just like I feel like you play Cool Boarders until something like SSX comes out, and then like
Right.
SSX just like completely eats its lunch.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, like when I was a kid, when SSX was out, you could kind of get away with saying sex.
Yeah,
You
I
could-
mean, if you want to be bad.
If you was, well, yeah, you're not gonna say it. First of all, don't say it in front of somebody that's gonna get you in trouble. Like you were talking to your friends, you're like, "Oops, I said sex."
Yeah, I'm going right to the principal.
Yeah,
I'm overhearing that.
My earlobe's getting stretched out on the way over there. I'll tell you that because I'm getting pulled down the halls. Man, we used to be able to just. Teachers used to be able to just like hit you, I guess, which is really crazy.
They did, yeah, that's true.
Like your adults not here; they're not here to hit you.
Yeah.
I guess I have to hit you. There's like as far as like games with dedicated boards,
Yeah.
I'm sort of tapped out here. But I have 2 games to talk about here that aren't necessarily board games, but games where you can ride a board.
Okay, I have a couple too. I have a feeling we might have some overlap. One that I thought about, which we covered in our old format, Battletoads.
Oh,
which of course has
yeah.
the spaceboard sections, where you're kind of like, it's the continuous scrolling.
Yeah, that's right.
And I also remembered there being hoverboards in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, but or Turtles in Time. But I was looking it up because I couldn't find a specific instance of that. They are in Shredder's Revenge, but I was like, but that's not what I was remembering. I think it may be Mandela affected because of Battletoads.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zitz, Pimple, and Rash, of course, are right in those boards, and those levels are in a punishingly difficult game. Those levels, like the cycling levels, are particularly difficult.
Yeah, that's tough. Gosh, their names are so nasty.
It's disgusting. Is that correct? Is it Zitz, Pimple, and Rash?
I
Let me
think
look it
so.
up.
Yeah. One of them's like eczema. It's unfortunate. I'm remembering in the Simpsons arcade game, you technically have a move where you're Bart and you do like a skateboard trick at an enemy.
That's right. Yes, is one of your attacks.
Which is really fun.
You know what? I'm realizing
yeah.
there must have been, when Fantastic Four just came out, there must have been a playable Silver Surfer in some game.
There must be. Perhaps in a Marvel Ultimate Alliance or something like that, maybe. Or
Yeah,
maybe-
that's what I'm wondering. Yeah. Or maybe in like one of the Marvel Capcoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver Surfer's a really cool character.
It looks cool.
Yeah, they're on a board, so it's pertinent to the discussion. Actually,
Yeah.
in the video game Jack 2, you do get a hoverboard that you can sort of just
right.
deploy.
Yes. Yeah.
It's called a jet board, I guess.
Yeah.
But you can have one and you can sort of ride around on that, and that's actually pretty cool because that was like in the same way that the second Prince of Persia is like. This one's for fucking cool teenagers now. Jack 2 is sort of like, this one's also like cool, actually. Which I kind of wish they had done more in the Jack and Daxter style.
Right.
Because I like Jack 2. I love Jack 2. And I love Jack 3. I think Jack 2 probably my favorite.
Yeah.
But I wish that they would do maybe even like a reboot or like a side story before getting from Jack 2. Where there's spend more time in that sort of colorful world because I really like that.
Right, because they quickly pivoted to being kind of edgelords, the same sort of thing that Prince of Persia did with Warrior Within. Yeah,
and then they're like in a dirty like city.
Yeah,
and there's like cars and flying cars, but you get a jet board in there, and that's really cool. And I was like really scratching my head, Nick, being like, what other games can you ride a board that it's like not the main thing?
Yeah.
And it's kind of rare. I'm sure there's other ones that I'm not thinking of.
No, that's the thing. And I'm sure our listeners will hit us up in the Discord if there's any we're omitting. But like, it's like, I was like, I was like, oh yeah, there's a bunch. And then it was like, kind of going through my mental, archives and was having, I have trouble with memory recall these days as I'm old as shit. But like, I still could not, like, I was like, oh no, I guess I can't place a lot of these as specifically as I thought. But one I do have is, of course, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where you can shield surf.
Oh, yes. And, well, first of all.
Yeah,
congratulations for remembering that. You just looked proud of yourself. You're like, and you can do that.
It's very fun.
We're missing a big one from a game we're both currently playing. You can like ground surf in Donkey
yeah.
Kong Bananza. You can pick up a piece of the ground,
Yes.
and instead of throwing it, you can ride
That's
it around.
right. Yes.
And it's really cool.
Yeah. And then while we're in
yeah.
Nintendo Town, this coming to me now, like, of course, in Super Mario 64, you can surf on the turtle shells.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
And this is not really a board. Man, why isn't there a board in Mario Kart? That'd be really cool. You can already grind on rails and stuff.
One of the characters had a board you could ride.
Yeah, they should have a board. Like Funky Kong.
That'd be fun.
Funky Kong on a board instead of a car. Pretty cool. And
then I think people might be talking about like, hey, what about Jet Set Radio Future? You're not on boards. You're on
those are
rollerblades.
skates, you idiot. Those are two separate things. A skateboard is one long thing.
What the fuck are you talking about? You think we're talking about inline skating? We're talking about fucking rollerblading?
No, not at all.
So mad at this fucking made up guy.
Yeah. Hey, they didn't talk about Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. It's a fucking bike. Do you not get it? Do you not know what that is?
Yeah.
Are bike sports?
No, what I was going to ask is, are inline skates bikes? Are they closer to bikes or skateboards? I think they're more like bikes. You can do stuff on them like skateboards, but it doesn't feel like a skateboard to me.
Ranch, I need help. I'm scared. I think Nick's sick.
I think they're bikes.
You think skates are bikes?
I think skates are closer to bikes than skateboards.
Can we be done? You also are skates bikes. We know that they're not boards.
They're not boards.
Both are not boards.
Or they're not boards.
So in that way, they are kind of the same thing because they're both not this one thing.
Yes, yeah. But they're also attached to your body in a way a bike isn't.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they're bikes.
They're a third category. They're their own thing.
I think sort of. Okay, so here's what it is.
Yeah.
Boards are boards.
Yeah.
Bikes are bikes. And skates, here's the thing. Skates are kind of shoes.
Skates are more like shoes.
Skates are actually more like shoes. They're
Okay.
actually nothing like bikes, and they're actually very close to shoes.
They're more like
so
shoes.
much so that they have those shoes with the little wheel in them. Heelys.
That's true. Okay, so skates are shoes.
Skates are shoes,
Ice
actually.
skates also shoes?
Those are bikes.
Should we do a segment?
I have one more to mention
go
real
for
quick. In Death Stranding 2, you get a coffin board. There's like a coffin that you get, and then at one point Tarman's like, yeah, we made it a fucking board or some shit. I don't know.
That rocks.
And you can just ride it around. It's not very practical, but it is cool. And it takes up a lot of space in the truck, actually. And it takes up too much space in the truck. I've ditched so many thinking, you know what, maybe I won't. I'll have it in the truck, and then when I want to stop and I'll like park the truck, I have a closer one, like a closer delivery. I'll just ride the board. And it's never worth it. I always end up like recycling the board.
I love it when a game includes something that's like intentionally like cumbersome and inefficient, but it's just there because it's cool. It's like you can do it if you want.
I will say too, it barely makes sense.
And this is a Kojima game? Weird.
I would go as far to say it's almost a bit of a stretch.
All right, let's do a segment. It's our video game Would You Rather, Would You Blathers Ape Edition. That's right. I'll read an either or involving games that involve apes in honor of Donkey Kong Bananza. You tell me your choice. And Rochelle, feel free to chime in as well. First up, would you blathers, assuming you're large in size, have the ironic nickname Kitty, like Kitty Kong, or the unironic nickname Chunky, like Chunky Kong? You're a big person.
Yeah.
You're a big.
You're big.
You're
big.
You're big. Do you want to be called Kitty or Chunky? Would you blathers?
Those are both pretty tough.
Yeah.
For almost like the same reason. Because like I feel it stings a little less to be called Kitty, I guess.
Right.
But you don't want to be like infantilized as like an adult.
No.
And I guess
Well, he's not doing himself any favors with his like rattle and diaper and pacifier, wherever the fuck he's got in Donkey Kong Country.
You know what? There's something else going on with Kitty Kong, and that's okay. Chunky Kong. If somebody could call you chunky in a way that doesn't feel nice.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But there's also this sort of like, there's like a sweetness to it too, or like if somebody close to you is like, you're just a little bit chunky, it's kind of like, I'm a little chunky, it's okay. I think I would pick chunky if I'm being honest.
Rochelle, what do you think? Kitty or chunky?
For some reason, Kitty feels meaner.
Yeah.
Right.
And Chunky is kind of a cute name, actually.
Yeah, chunky's kind of cute.
It makes me think of Chunky Hunky, which I'd love to hearing that.
Yeah, no problems there.
I think I'd also go Chunky Kong. Yeah, I don't want to be Kitty Kong.
I don't want to be Kitty Kong.
You're talking about me being like, hey, I'm Kitty.
There's something. Yeah, it's. It just kind of feels like there's something else going on.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
All right, next up, Would You Blathers. And now we're going from being large in size to old in age. You're old. Would you Blathers have the nickname Cranky, like Cranky Kong, or the nickname Wrinkly, like his dead wife Wrinkly Kong?
This is like I do think Wrinkly is so rude. It is.
It's really mean.
It's so mean. And to add insult to injury, she's fucking dead.
Unexplained.
Yeah.
Dies between entries. Cranky Kong never gets closure.
I have a theory that it was just so because they figured out how to like animate like a ghost, and they just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I gotta pick Cranky because sometimes I am a little cranky.
Yeah, you sure are.
The hell?
We'll talk about it later.
What the? It's okay. Interesting. I'd like to present to you with a mirror, good sir.
Rochelle, Cranky or Wrinkly?
Same as Matt. Wrinkly is so mean.
It just is. It's because also like how wrinkly?
Yeah.
Wrinkly compared to what?
Here's where I'm going to zig where y'all zag. I'm going to take Wrinkly because
you already are cranky.
All right, hold on. No, I think if like someone's like oh here comes Cranky, people are like set up for this guy, like they're kind of preparing for the worst, and you're kind of going in on like like you're already in debt when you're going to this conversation. You're already in the hole for a little bit. You got to win people over and prove that you're not that cranky, or you just lean into it and you're just an asshole and no one wants to be around you. I think if someone's like, hey, here comes Wrinkly, then you show up and their expectations are like, this person's gonna be wrinkly as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'll just be, and hopefully they'll see me and be like, not that wrinkly.
Not that wrinkly.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
do they call him that?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'd take Wrinkly Kong in this case.
All right, that's fair.
Next up, Would You Blathers have to catch a bunch of normal-sized monkeys on the loose using gadgets like in Ape Escape, or have to battle one kaiju-sized gorilla like in Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie? A bunch of small monkeys or one big ape?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I love the Ape Escape monkeys.
Yeah.
They're going to make me look like a fucking idiot. They're going to make me look so stupid.
Running around with little sirens on their head. You're trying to catch them with a net.
And they're like spanking their ass at me.
Yeah.
I'll be humiliated. At least if I pick King Kong, I'm going to die with dignity. I'm not going to look like some fucking fool. You know what I mean? And also, maybe it'll fall in love with me and hold me in its big hand.
That's the dream.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to pick King Kong.
Rochelle, normal-sized monkeys like in Ape Escape, or giant gorilla like in Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie?
Are they trying to hurt me?
They're just trying to get away.
Just think about this. They're going to make you look so stupid.
Yeah, they're but you're like, if you don't catch them, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you
trying
have
to get away.
You do have to get them for some reason.
And I have gadgets.
You have gadgets.
That's kind of cool. I'll do that.
You're picking that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gadgets are pretty cool.
I think I'm also going to go after the Ape Escape monkeys because it seems fun. I have never gotten to wield a big net, and I think I'd be pretty good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you would.
But also, I don't think I'm dying.
No.
And I think I'm up against King Kong, even if I've got the military backing me, and they're blasting them with,
and just to be
rocket
clear,
propelled grenades.
you do have the military at your beck and call.
I think I'm in trouble.
I just like King Kong. I just have a great affection for that game. I love the game.
And one of the all-time titles. Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie. Next up, would you blathers have a gorilla body but superhuman intelligence like Winston in Overwatch, or have a human body but a dumb feral ape brain like Tomba in Tomba?
This is... Because here's the thing. I played Tomba back in the day.
Me too, on PlayStation 1. I have not played the remaster.
And this is what I gotta say about Tomba.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like the way he looks. I don't like him. I like the game enough.
Yeah.
But as a character, I don't like him that much.
Yeah.
And I think he's a little too dumb to want to be him. I do think it'd be fun to be a smart gorilla. Do I get to wear like glasses?
Yeah, you do. Winston has glasses.
Winston's got glasses? Yeah. That's pretty funny. It's just kind of funny to think about because, like, what, the ape go to regular doctor?
It's a good question. I'm not sure if ape go to regular doctor.
Does he wear clothes?
Yeah, he's got
I've never seen this Winston before.
Let me bring up a shot of Winston.
Also, I think the name Winston is a good name.
It's a great name. And I remember him from the reveal trailer and being like, oh, this is cool. What's this guy's whole deal? And then I never played Overwatch.
That's such a blind spot to me. I have no idea what's going on in there at all.
Here's a shot of Winston in his power armor. You can sort of get a sense of his whole deal. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. How could I not pick being Winston? He looks awesome.
Yeah.
and also, like, being a big gorilla seems kind of cool.
You would certainly have gorilla strength combined with human smarts, and that would be a powerful combo.
Yeah.
Rochelle, what do you think? Do you want to be a smart ape or an ape-brained human?
I think that the dumber you are, the happier you are.
Yeah.
So, ape brain.
I have the same rationale, and that's why I'm going with Tomba. I feel like Winston would be dealing with the existential angst of I'm the only one of my kind. I do not exist in either the human world or the ape world.
Yeah.
I am attracted to gorillas, but none of them can relate to me on an emotional level, but my biology is driving me to mate with dumb gorillas.
Yeah.
And then human beings, I don't feel like I fit in there either. I'm a curiosity. You know what I mean? Like I'm not treated like an individual. I'm treated like the Elephant Man or something. So I think I would probably go with Tomba.
And in this world, the Elephant Man is an elephant, actually.
Next up, would you blathers, in the prehistoric fighting game Primal Rage, fight against Blizzard, the virtuous ape god who uses freezing breath and icy attacks, or fight against Chaos, the destructive ape god who uses gross out moves, including fart and vomit attacks? So you got to go up against Ice Ape or Shit and Puke Ape.
This is so hard, actually, because I hate being cold so much.
Being cold.
Like, too cold.
Yes.
I want to be exactly as cold as I want to be.
Right. I hate chilling in the AC, that's great.
By the way, at a hotel, I'm cranking the AC because it's not fucking mine. I'm frigid in a hotel room. My wife hates it. She gets so mad. I always turn it down to like 65.
Yeah, you got to find a compromise with your partner if you're on different temperatures.
But I like to be snuggled up in a blanket.
Oh,
when
I get
cold.
that. I get that feeling. And you're not paying for the electricity, so go nuts. Yeah, you ever going back to the Airbnb thing? Sometimes they'll put like a fucking thing over the thermostat.
Yeah,
you can't adjust it.
Ugh. You know who's? That's such a. I stayed at an Airbnb once near an Umbrella Corporation property. And they had all the thermostats locked up.
Sure.
And I found a bunch of keys, and none of them fit.
Oh.
And then I did put it in one, and I got to unlock it, and it did unlock it, and I got to change the thing. But then the key snapped in half.
Oh, boy.
And I had to find another one when I went to unlock it again.
Kind of cool you pulled it off, though. You're kind of the master of unlocking.
I'm kind of a master of unlocking.
What do you think? Ice Ape or Puke Ape?
I guess the Ice Ape, because that seems more tolerable. I'd rather be, I guess, covered in a bunch of snow than like shit and puke and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd hate that. It's very funny, but
it is funny.
I wouldn't like it.
Rochelle, what do you think? Which ape do you want to take on?
Definitely Ice Ape.
I'm going to go against the gross ape because He's a bad guy, so I know I'm on the right side.
Oh, and we're fighting a benevolent god.
Yeah, you're fighting a virtuous ape god.
Yeah.
The god of good.
Well,
And also, I just hate being cold. And I think that guy's going to fucking freeze me to death. I think I'm going to die, like, you know, just like I'm going to be like a frozen block.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm up against Chaos as like, oh, that's like, this guy puked on me. That's fucking disgusting. I just smell his fucking fart. But I feel like I could maybe kick his ass.
I just feel like at some point after being covered in what I'm guessing would be a large amount of like puke and like,
Sure.
shit, you're gonna have just more problems after that. Like you're gonna
That's
become
fair.
like very sick.
Yeah, you might get some sort of infection. Would you blathers share a name with music producer accused of sex trafficking Diddy, like Diddy Kong, or share a name with music producer accused of murder Phil Spector, like Spector from Ape Escape? Diddy or Spector?
God. It's unfortunate that I think one of these is worse. And you might be surprised which. No. I guess if I have my druthers, I'd rather, and this is maybe me being a hero.
Yeah.
I guess I'd rather be Spectre from
Wow.
Ape Escape, but that's just me.
Rochelle, what do you think? You have to have an association with Diddy or Phil Spector?
Unfortunately, I think Diddy is a cute name.
And yeah, you could like take it back kind
Yeah,
of.
it's true. I would also go with Spector just because I feel like people's first thought would not be Phil Spector. Whereas
No.
I feel like if you're Diddy like Diddy Kong, people are like fucking Diddy. Like that's the first thing
Yeah.
they're thinking of.
You might
Those
get
are the only Diddies that exist.
the 4th James Bond movie from the Daniel Craig part of the franchise.
Oh. From Spectre,
Yeah.
yes, of course. The title of that. Finally, would you blathers be the OG cool sunglasses wearing surfing gorilla like Thrilla Gorilla from TNC Surf Designs, or be the modern reboot of the sunglasses wearing surfing gorilla Funky Kong from Donkey Kong Country? Thrilla Gorilla or Funky Kong?
I mean, I know you have great affection for Thrilla Gorilla, and
Yeah.
I did say he was awesome.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I wasn't trying to live my life like I'm Funky Kong.
Yeah.
I have to pick Funky Kong.
Yeah. Rochelle, what do you think?
Donkey Kong is cool.
Look, I do love Thrilla Gorilla. He blazed a trail.
Yes. We don't get to Funky Kong
He is a
without Thrilla
legend.
Gorilla.
There's no way it's not Funky Kong.
No
you
way.
fucking kidding me?
Also, like, Funky is so cool.
It's so cool, and he's got funky mode.
And, like, I kind of feel like nobody really describes things as funky in, like, a good way anymore.
Right.
And I think funky is, like, one of the cooler things you could be described as. Like, oh, that guy's funky.
Look at this fucking guy.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh, me? I'm funky. Low key, kind of hot.
Yeah, he's great. Don't get me started. Hey, that's this week's Get Played. Our producer is Rochelle Chen. Ranch, yard__sard, twitch.tv/yard__sard. And of course, the D-Files, wherever you listen to podcasts. Our music is by Ben Prunty, benpruntymusic.com. Our art is by Duck Brigade Design, duckbrigade.com. Get Played merch at kinshipgoods.com. And also check out Get Animate, our sister show, over on Patreon. Matt, what are we watching this week?
We're watching Birdie Wing Golf Girl's Story. And I gotta say, it's getting kind of interesting.
It's been interesting from the get-go as far as I'm concerned. Check that out over at patreon.com/getplayed. And until then, you got played.
Oh.
That was a HeadGum podcast.